okay that time. Oh, we turn that down.
Almost.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 938. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont.
Hello, Mike Matthews.
That's Haley.
Hi. You want some Reese's Pieces?
Why, certainly, because my name is E.T., the extraterrestrial.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Ooh, look, they're all of an orange. They're not paying for this show.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
We also have the beautiful Ren back for another part of our interview that does not blow.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And we also have the interesting lightsaber sound effects in the background while we're interviewing here. Not to beat a dead horse by the guy I mentioned yesterday who wanted some music thing for me that he said he would pay for, but I knew he wouldn't because he did this to me before the same way. Well, guess who I ran into and guess what he had to say? He told me that he bought dots for his keyboard.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And made the music himself. He then told me this minor league sports team paid him for
Mike's
his help.
Daily
How much did they pay him?
Podcast.
$1,000.
Yeah!
First off, this minor league team would not pay that much money for some guy's amateur music work. Second, this guy does not have the technical skills to produce recorded music. It is an art to be a music producer. The guy has trouble recording his own voice. God, I hate liars. Done with my what do you call it? Preamble.
Seems like something's fishy.
Pre-anthem. Yeah, very fishy. Something's rotten in the state of Denmark, to quote Shakespeare. I think this guy is lying to me. And I think everyone I work with that also works with him also thinks that he is lying to them.
Yeah.
And
what did he say he downloaded? Or what did he say he got for his keyboard?
dots to help him see what notes to play.
Oh, so he just like wrote down the notes on or dots, huh?
Yeah. And I said, "Oh, you have a keyboard?" He says, "Yeah, I have 5. That's a lie, because I've been to his house. I've never seen a keyboard. There's a piano, like an old piano that's shoved in a corner, but he would not know how to mic that.
Right.
He's like not that smart.
And those things are difficult to mic anyway.
Absolutely. I'm catching him on so many lies. And then this minor league team would not pay $1,000 for that. Maybe like $50 at the most.
So wait, which minor league team is it? The prehistoric cats or the swimming little guys?
The swimming little guys.
Aha, so it is fishy.
Exactly. Pre-recorded sound effect here. I was applauding your very funny turn of the phrase.
Oh, thank you. I heard that.
We were not very happy with yesterday's show. We're just going to be blunt and honest right now.
Yeah.
We apologize if you were listening. There's
a lot of situations that happened that it was boring.
We outlined some of them about the bus and all that. And other things that...
But I have good coffee today. I have my Wake Up America cup, and this coffee has more caffeine than the coffee we usually have at the station. So,
tell me more about your coffee that you made with a Keurig device.
It's called a brown sugar crumble donut. And it doesn't taste that good, I'll be honest. It smells amazing.
If you didn't hear me say anything just then, that was because my jaw was agape.
Mm-hmm. It smells amazing. It's a light roast, and there's nothing else really to say about it.
Sounds fantastic. Now, when I said agape, that's also Greek for the term of agape, which is a form of love, isn't it?
Which is a form of love, yeah.
What kind of love was that again?
I think it's the respect brotherly love.
Ah.
Yeah.
Which I don't have for this guy that lied to me.
Right. Yeah, I've seen the word agape tattooed onto so many Christian college students' arms.
Really?
Because I went to Azusa Pacific.
I know, which is so weird because my ex-wife went there.
Yeah.
And you and that was and Jars of Clay played off of the loudspeakers a lot. No, but you knew of Jars of Clay.
I knew what Jars of Clay was long before I went to Azusa.
And if I could feel after 40 days and my mind is crossed by the crashing waves and
me up.
When I'm lonely. I forget the one. What was the one? What's the other one? Water or fluid or liquid?
Liquid is what it's called.
One thing. Is that how it goes?
Yeah. This is the one thing. The one thing that I know. This is the one. This is the one thing.
Nailed it. You
Yeah.
just nailed that song.
I listened to that album so much.
Oh, wait, you mentioned donuts earlier.
Donuts.
Now that was so... We doubled back.
Mm-hmm.
I want to tell you thank you for being on my podcast on National Podcast Day!
Yeah!
Woo! Wait, that's not that song. Okay. Sorry, I'm a little bit... Okay.
What song did you think it was? It's labeled Psycho Theme.
I thought it said patriotic. They both got P's.
Did you ever see the movie Dave?
Yes.
Do you remember the scene when he's in the shower and he's just singing "Hail to the chief, he's the chief that he all hail to"?
Kevin Kline is hilarious.
That's my favorite part of that entire movie.
Have you listened to Kevin Kline on Live 105?
No.
I haven't either, but I like his promos that he does for the show, for his radio station. They're very funny.
Oh, good.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, we did say anyway a lot in a previous episode.
Because it's cafe anyway.
Anyway.
Who's here today? Oh, look who just walked in. Hello, my good dudes. Hello, Haley. Shelly, Stuart, your shop supervisor. Here's your croissant.
Whose croissant is this?
Yours.
Delicious.
I'm still eating my Reese's Pieces. I'm full.
You're
My
one
bad.
Reese's piece.
That's like ridiculous. Anyway, can you guys explain something to me?
Probably.
Who's Nickelback?
Nickelback
Nickelback.
is an ancient deity. I think it's like the Mesopotamian.
Mesopotamian belongs?
Yeah.
The Mesos?
Yeah, and you know how they built like those pyramid type things? What did they call those? It's something starting with
Mayans.
U. No, not the Mayans. The Mesopotamian ones.
Ooh,
They
wow,
were like,
I'm agape again.
They were like Uts or Ertz or something. Anyway, so they built these giant things, and this was back like when sort of art was just starting to come around, and they would paint these elaborate like portraits of their gods.
Oh, wow.
And they would
have arms raised?
No, well, they would build like the biggest sort of canvas type things. It was like a rock, obviously, because it was way back then.
Oh.
And they would paint these elaborate, very detailed portraits of what they perceive their gods to be. Mm. And on top of these pyramid type things, which I cannot remember the name of,
Ertz?
Something like that.
Utes?
It was like the first page in my history book. They would put them and pose them on top of these giant pyramid things, these pictures, and they would inscript the words of their gods onto the bottom, and they would say, "Look at this photograph."
You took us on such a journey. That was so much fun.
And that's Nickelback.
What are you guys talking about? You need not worry yourself.
Yes.
What's agape again? It's a
type of, it's what they make wine out of.
No, that's a grape.
Oh, darn.
My God, why do you do that to me? I just realized that Chili Shoeheart sounds just like the voice that Fred Armisen does on Portlandia when he plays a woman. You haven't watched Portlandia yet.
I have.
But he does that kind of... You have?
I have.
So they switch genders.
Yeah, I know.
And the girl, Carrie Brownstein, has the mustache, and she's like, yeah, okay, well, I'm working on my bike.
Right. And then Fred Armisen's like,
oh
my God. Is this fresh? Is this fresh? Have you heard Rob Black do that?
No.
He does like, he does an impression of like his millennial friend. Is this fresh? Is this fresh?
Oh, that's right.
Is this orange juice
I've
fresh?
heard that on a show. Yeah, because he dated a millennial woman.
Yeah.
And he's like my age. Interesting. I want to also ask you today. Shelley, are you done? Yeah, okay, whatever. I was going to ask you about, have you seen that new Muppet Show?
Yeah, I was actually watching it last night.
Did you? I did too. Did you love the little lobster thing? Say, Josh Groban. Oh, Josh Groban. And everybody stares at him and he's like, what? Josh Groban's handsome and gender is fluid.
Yes!
I was like, total Haley. That was a Haley would love that.
As a matter of fact, I did enjoy that.
I don't remember the next 7 lines that came out of the that show because I was laughing my ass off.
It wasn't really important. There was 2 important scenes in that entire episode, and it was that one, and it was the one where they were talking about how the band is always happy, and it's legal now.
The band is out. Oh, and it's legal now. Okay, yeah. Yeah, they are really... And then didn't the show start off with they're writing to a Christmas card?
I didn't see the very beginning.
Oh, and one of them goes, I think it was... Was it Fozzie? One of them goes something like, oh, I don't believe in Christmas cards because it's just a holiday that the greeting cards made up. And I'm like, what? This is going to be good. I'm going to keep this on. This is so funny. And then
it had some good parts. They didn't quite hit the spot that the Muppets are kind of known for.
Oh.
They have that niche of just the really goofy off the wall type stuff, and they didn't quite hit that. But I could tell for what they were going for, they did a pretty good job of getting there.
Yeah, you loved the original Muppet Show.
I adore the original Muppet Show, the original Muppet movies, the newer Muppet movies. Like, I watched Muppets in Space so much as a kid.
Oh, I haven't watched that.
It's okay. Apparently, they, like, retconned the stuff that happened in that movie because in the TV show...
They don't talk about it?
Well, in the TV show... Gonzo was talking about his mother.
Yeah, they did that last night.
And
she's like in South America or something,
right?
On a cruise ship.
But in the movie, like Gonzo is the only one of his kind, and he's an alien.
And he has no mom.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, they retconned. You know what? And then the guy is writing on the birthday card. And they're like that picture is of a naked woman or something. He's like, oh, this is a birthday card? Oh, I'll change that. And, he makes it something that's not. So I'm like, a Muppet? That's what So they're pushing the envelope. It's hilarious.
You know, they have the right to do that because the Muppet Show was, the adult alternative to Sesame Street.
Yeah.
It was primetime television when it first came out.
And they were all friends with Monty Python and some of the big comedians of the day.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean... they were still very family-friendly when it first came out. Mm-hmm. It's definitely very wacky. But they were first family-friendly when it first came out, but I'm not upset by the fact that they didn't choose to entirely follow that.
I'm so glad we had this discussion. Mm-hmm. It was a fun time.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you saw that. Then I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and was like, I'm not investing in this show again.
Really?
I watched the first 2 seasons and it was like, no, they killed off, what? I don't know.
Yeah. Who the heck are the characters now? Because I watched, the first season.
Yeah.
And so I got used to all those characters. And then they had the promo, and it was like Agent Coulson with 2 white people standing next to him. And it's like, who are these people?
Yeah, one of them started the season before, and then there's Sky, who's now Daisy, and she's got superpowers now.
Oh, was that the hacker girl?
Yeah.
Okay, she looks a lot different.
Chloe Bennett. Yeah. And she always reminded me of Michelle Branch. I always expect them to give her a guitar and she's going to start singing a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Started with a kiss, now we're up to bat. A little bit of love,
a little bit of pain. Can I sing too? Go ahead, Shelley. My favorite one by her is
I am a man of constant sorrow.
Yes!
Oh, that's
You
becoming
busted out some Coen brothers. Oh, brother, we're out those soggy bottom boys.
That's becoming a running joke between us.
That's true. When we don't know, when we feel awkward and full of agape, we start to sing that. I was gonna sing 'Cause You're Everywhere to Me. No? Nothing? Okay,
Hey,
whatever.
Shelley, did you know that I do impersonations? Do you want to hear one?
Shelley, answer the man. Don't tell me what to do. We're having a little argument, I'm sorry. Go ahead with your impression, Haley.
All right, here's my impression. That was the worst thing I have ever heard. That was my Simon Cowell.
Yay! Who's he? Look who else just walked in. Oh my, this is Floyd the Foreman! This is John Deere the engineer. You know that... Oh, I see you're now just putting your headphones on, Haley.
Yeah, I had to take them off briefly.
Was that because Floyd, my lover, has very loud vocal cord?
He does have very loud vocal cords.
What? Sorry! I'll try and not talk as much! Floyd and I are trying to recreate the loving embrace that your girlfriend drew of us. And technically, I think we nailed it, so to
Good.
speak.
I'm happy for you two.
Yay! Gender is fluid. Well, that's a very interesting point that you ended with. Would you like a Reese's Pieces? I'm watching my weight. He looks pretty good for his... Floyd, because you asked me once how old all the characters were, because you really couldn't... Because you don't see age. You don't see color. You don't see discrimination.
I see
Ageism.
color. Color means, like, culture. If you don't recognize culture, that's kind of rude.
You know, and that's funny, because the religious station that we help monitor, they were
That's
talking
a type of lizard.
A monitor? Oh. And then the Minotaur was the guy with the bullhead,
Yeah.
which is sometimes what I'm called, because I'm so stubborn. Not really. They were talking about on the Christian channel about culture and about how it's evil and you shouldn't... All culture is evil.
Right.
I'm like, oh, okay, so all society should just die.
Pretty much.
Thank you for that, preacher man. All creativity, all art, just let it float away.
That's what the church has been trying to do for years.
Thank you so much for listening to the show and for enjoying this podcast on National Podcast Day. We have Ren and the second part of our interview. Still some of the lightsaber sound effects in there. I hope you enjoy those, but that was not my fault. It was the phone system that I was using. So, and I only had Ren for a very limited amount of time before she flew away.
Oh, no.
MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com is the website to go to find all the stuff about this show and the blog, the daily podcast picture, all my past interviews, and the Amazon link. I have not checked that yet to see if it works, but if you click on that, supposedly there is money that is then given to us. But I think I'll check that after the show. Then there's also the PayPal if you want to help us and become an Inglorious Mike's Daily Podcaster. Then finally, we're on YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Podomatic, Mixcloud, Spreaker, Tumblr, Yelp, and a little known thing called iTunes. And you can rate and comment on the show there. If you do that, more people find out about us. MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Now, second part of my interview in the 3 parts. I'm holding up the number 3 with my fingers.
I'm going to do one more impression before we go to the interview.
Yes.
This is my Kermit the Frog impersonation.
Oh, I can't wait. This is exciting.
Ready?
Thank you, Haley.
Into an interview.
Okay.
We're speaking with Ren. She's in Seattle, Washington, and she's a great singer-songwriter. She's a fantastic performer, and she's just the nicest person I've ever met, basically.
Oh, thank you.
It's so cool.
Thanks for having me.
It's so cool to have you on the show and to talk about your music. I was going to play the song Seal Barnacle,
Oh, yes. That's one of my favorite love songs I've ever written.
Oh my gosh! So is this someone that you're still seeing?
No. I wrote it a while ago, but I don't know. I feel like it's a love song about another human, but it's also a love song for the natural world, which is my longest term relationship.
The natural world.
Yeah.
Because
The
you are really into. We were talking last time about how you were like living in a cabin and taking care of some area, and you were weed whacking, and then I saw on Facebook you had like a garden, but somehow the city took the garden away somehow.
Yeah, the city just bulldozed my garden. I fought it long and hard, and my roommates as well, but we lost the battle. And it was a hard battle to fight because they were putting in a sidewalk for kids. So it's like one of those things where you're just like a terrible person for not being in favor of the sidewalk, you know? But I'm like, my garden!
There was this great coffee place I used to go to that had a huge, garden of just, all these potted plants. Because it was, the ground was, hard. It was asphalt and stuff. So they had all these potted plants brought in to kind of create sort of a forest feel. But then the place got sold, and all the plants had to go, and they just donated them to people, and people took them.
Oh, I'm glad the plants survived that.
So, are you a vegetarian then, or a vegan?
I'm actually not, but I really care a tremendous amount about where my food comes from, and so I'm very picky about the animal products that I do eat.
And is there like I bet you're a good cook. I bet you have some good recipes.
Yeah, I do love to cook. I feel like I've been going through a phase lately of not loving it as much, but I think that has to do with not being able to have as big of a garden as I would like, and I feel like when I'm living on farms, which I've spent a fair amount of time doing, that's really when I enjoy cooking the most because I have so many ingredients right at my disposal that are fresh and that I'm connected to.
Well, I want to play Seal Barnacle, which has to do with your love of nature.
Yes.
It's a love song, and they can find that on renmusic.net, and that is from Bone Nest?
That is, yes.
Excellent. It's Ren, W-R-E-N, and let's play her now on Mike's Daily Podcast. And that was Ren! Yay, Ren! Such a nice, wonderful person. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. The next show will have the finale of my intern interview with Ren.
I can't roll my R's.
I am surprised by that news.
Ren.
How did you... Because you sang with like a choir?
Yeah.
I guess you don't need to roll your R's for the choir. But to speak Espanol, you kind of need to roll your R's.
Well, it's a good thing I don't speak Espanol.
I bet you... See, I could not roll my R's till my late 30s. And then I just... All of a sudden one day it'll just happen. And you'll go, oh!
I can roll my tongue.
Oh, wow. He just made his tongue into a chalupa. No, what do you call those things? A gordita? What's the thing that's in the big... That's looks like a top... What was that noise?
That was my tongue whistle.
It sounded like the heron of the plains of Mozambique's Minotaur.
It does sound like a mourning dove.
That's what it was. Morning has broken. Da-da-da-da-do-do. Thank you so much for listening to this. Oh, I just got a tip for singing outside here.
Yeah, that's not a realistic sound effect.
You're so judgmental about my sound effects. Oh, I think right here we should put that sound effect that I've been using lately that I took from the bad voiceover to the game. Let's put
Resident Evil bad voiceover.
Let's put that in right here.
I can't believe... What the hell is this place anyway?
Wow, what a great sound effect.
That was a good sound effect. Explain that sound effect to everybody, Haley.
That is from the video game Resident Evil. And I don't know the specific situation surrounding that specific line, because I haven't played through the entire game. But it has really bad voice acting, that entire game. Just ridiculous lines like, my favorite is, "Stop! Don't open that door!" I mean, stuff like that. And it's an interesting situation that came to bring about this voice acting.
How did that happen?
Well, let me tell you.
I cannot wait.
This was the first game in the series. And this was the first game, I believe, at least released in America, that this production company was doing. And they work for Nintendo or Sony or whoever, but they were a small actual design company. And so when they did their English translations, they didn't have English-speaking producers and audio engineers. So they would bring these voice actors that really did know what they were doing. They were good voice actors into the studio and give them a script, and they would read these lines like, "Stop! Don't open that door!" You know, in a proper way that you would for a video game. And the audio engineers would look at their scripts that had which line was supposed to be emphasized and which word and what syllable was supposed to be emphasized for what they supposedly thought the English should sound like. And if it didn't line up, they'd say, "Do it again." But they had no real way of saying, like, do it specifically this way or blah, 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 so just do it again. So they were to record these lines over and over and over again. And if you're a voice actor and you're recording a line over and over and over again, it's only going to get more campy and worse. And they would do this over and over again until they got the specific sound that they wanted, even though they couldn't understand English. And sometimes, in some lines, they would even splice together different recordings to make sure that they got it exactly right to what their script said. But to an American or to an English-speaking listener, it sounds extremely like phoned in and campy, and like they weren't even trying. Which I'm sure at that point in the recording they weren't. But, so that's the interesting background behind that.
And is that one of your favorite games, Resident Evil?
No, not really.
Okay.
I prefer Silent Hill, which had slightly better voice acting.
And here's today's podcast picture.
So this is a picture of my mom and I when we were kayaking in Florida. on the St. Johns River.
Oh, really?
It was the hottest day, and I'm sitting behind my mom. We're in one kayak together, and I've got my little camera. I'm all afraid I'm dropping it in the water.
Have you seen that video of the guy who's kayaking, but his kayak is like tipping over, and he's like clutching onto it, and it's very clear that they're in like some sort of a river, so it's not super deep, that he is just freaking out.
Oh, no.
And he's like, help,
And it's-
help me, please. And like his friend is just kind of floating by, filming him on her phone, just laughing.
As he's starting to submerge.
As like the kayak is slowly turning over, and he's like, help me,
We've all had that feeling.
Sarah, no.
Well, that luckily didn't happen that day. It's an interesting river because there's manatees in it. And so we were like kayaking along, and all of a sudden a manatee like made a bunch of... It was like it jumped out, like we approached it and scared it, and it like made a bunch of water and then swam away.
I love manatees.
And they're like in the middle. It's weird because the St. Johns River is sort of close to the inner part of Florida. It's sort of in the middle.
So that's a saltwater lake then, right? Or a saltwater river if it's
I think so. I think it's coming out of springs and stuff. No, that would be clear, huh?
That would be freshwater. So
I think it is freshwater.
Could be brackish.
Might be brackish is what it is.
Brackish
It's
water.
a brackish water.
Which means there could also be sharks.
Oh, listen to our shark show. That was like 2 shows ago.
Well, I didn't talk about sharks and rivers.
Oh. But yeah, that's the river, St. Johns River. You can see that picture at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Well, I think we've learned a lot on today's show about culture and music and people that are liars.
And Reese's Pieces.
And Reese's Pieces. And ancient cultures that worship the Nickelbacks. Mm-hmm. And the Sleestacks and everything. And Muppets. We had a great show. So I think that was a perfect National Podcast Day show. I'm happy with it. Shall we end it here with a simple goodbye?
No.
No? You're looking something up on your phone device. How lovely that is.
I will distract you while I look this up.
I'll distract you by talking about Lake Wobegon. No, I won't. Go ahead.
Did you know that there's a racehorse called Potato, but it's spelled P-O-T-O-O-O-O-O-O-O because there's 8 O's?
Now that's not potato then, because that's a...
Ziggurat!
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!